Welcome back to the channel, guys. So glad to have you here. I have a board that I'm gonna call the ultimate coffee getter. It is a time for a new era in skateboards, and Backfire has provided that with us. Wah! That's the entire thing, right there. Let's dive in. So let's start off with the deck, the package deal here, the thing you stand on. It is a non-flexi deck, as you can see. It is the all-encompassing battery enclosure, ESC, integrated inside there too. And I must say that it's a solid board. There's no flex to it whatsoever, but as far as standing on this thing, the comfortability is there. With these little tiny flares right here, you can kind of see right there. Let's get that, yeah, right there. A little bit of flare right there on the front. It's just enough to kind of give your feet front and back support that you're looking for, heel toe edge that you're looking for. The deck is super comfortable and it lends itself to, I would say, the grip tape, the shock absorbing grip tape that's on there. A bunch of companies are using this, but I know I keep saying it over and over again. It definitely adds a little bit layer of comfortability to your normal everyday ride. So let's get a little bit more into the wheels. So these are 90mm by 55mm by 88 durometers. The back motors here are two 650 watt in-hub motors. So plenty of power to propel you up to about 22 to 26 miles per hour. So for me, I got up to about 22 miles per hour. Again, I am a little bit heavier. I was going on a flat road, but it did get me up to 22 miles per hour and it felt really stable at those speeds. So again, it's like if you're jumping into the sport and you wanted to pick up something, it's a great buy for that sense alone, that you're able to get on this and kind of give it the full gas. You're able to still get these really nice speeds and get a pretty decent range out of it as well too. We'll talk about that in a second. Now, this is a hub drive motor system, meaning that the motors are inside of the back wheels there. Typically when it comes to hub drive, it doesn't have the most comfortable ride because you don't get the full, like you would on the front here. This is a full urethane wheel, but on the back here, you only get a little bit of urethane. Otherwise, the hub motor that's inside of there, that's what actually propels it forward. And that little bit of urethane. Now, these are 90mm, 55mm by 88 durometer. It's not the hardest wheel that's out there, not the softest wheel that's out there, but it's definitely got a great, comfortable feeling. I have a soft spot for hub drives. It's what started me in my eskate career. It's what I first got into it. I absolutely think that for beginners and people that are just looking for commuters that are like short distances, hub drive systems are fantastic in that sense because they're sleek, they're quieter, they have a better rolling resistance than you would on a belt drive system. So when you do let go of it or you want to kick push, you do have a better feeling in that sense. So we kind of say that hub drives are when you're a skater coming to the e-skate, hub drive kind of feels more normal to you than it would be jumping into a belt drive. Total different preferences, but again, I do have a soft spot for hub drive systems. It's what I started on, it's what I learned on. So for me, it's always a great step back. The trucks are these 7-inch reverse kingpin trucks with these custom barrel bushings that are inside there. Plenty of hardness and softness that I would say that as a beginner, stability is the name of this board's game. It is super stable. I mean, I felt like even going 22 to 25 miles an hour with me being on there, it still felt incredibly stable, which just gives you a lot more confidence when you're a beginner, and it gives you an incredible amount of feeling when you're able to jump on this board and not get speed wobbles or anything like that out of the box. Again, I try not to adjust these trucks when they come out of the box. I like to see what the factory does, and then I go and start making adjustments as far as making screw adjustments, maybe swapping out bushings, depending on all that is. But I like to kind of ride it as a factory feel and give you a honest opinion what it comes from out of the box. And I would say that this board out of the box, super stable. Now, the other beautiful thing about this is because it does have the battery built into the deck and the motors are built into there, it gives you this really nice overall sleek longboard look. Now, the battery is a 180 watt hour lithium polymer battery. that is built inside there. So it's not your typical series cell like it with the 21700s. I got about 9 to 10 miles of range on this. Now they do quote about 9 to 12 miles. That depends on how you're riding. That depends on how heavy you are, the road conditions you're at, the wind speed, the temperature outside. There's a lot of factors when it comes to and getting range on these numbers here. I did very different speeds. So it wasn't necessarily, I was like, oh, let me just gun it everywhere I wanted to go, but I was carving, enjoying myself. I was going down smooth roads, I was going down rougher roads, a little bit of an incline, a little bit of a decline, and mixed variation like of speed. So anywhere from like 10 miles to 15 miles per hour, and just kind of really just enjoying the board and kind of more along the lines of just enjoying the ride feel of it. So that did give me, like I said, about 9 to 10 miles of range, which I think is pretty good. And again, that's mixed riding as far as speed and everything like that. But if you're getting into this, it's not something that you would use for long distance travel because it does take about 3 hours to charge with the stock charger that comes with it. It's definitely something to consider that if you're looking to get this up here and you're trying to make this like a daily commute, if you're going within 9 to 12 miles of range and you are someone that's, for me, around 220 pounds or less, you'll probably get that close to that 12 miles of range. And again, it all depends on how fast you're going and what the road conditions are and everything along those lines that way. So take that with a grain of salt. So another really cool feature that kind of gives Backfire a standout is the remote. This is the R5 remote, and I think it just looks cool. I didn't know if I would like this little finger hole loop here, but it just fits in the hand, and really nice, you know, little red design there. A lot of people kind of just go with the standard black, but it's just another standout feature, red and black, two great colors, and it just gives a really nice, cool feel. Now with the remote here, so you have your power on button, that powers on. This also powers the board on too. I'm already getting a low battery voltage because I took it for the ride and it didn't haven't charged since then. But it does give you the battery percentage on the remote, the battery percentage in bars as far as like what you get with the bars on there. Let's see if I can get that to focus on. Tripometer and then your speed. Now the other good thing is that there's 3 different modes, technically 4, because there is an app available for this as well too, a Backfire app. It's a little cattywampus. It's a little hard to get integration wise, but it's a cool feature because it allows you just like show your voltage, show your speed as far as on your phone. But again, it's the only feature that I would say that's useful inside there is that there's an option called kid mode, which allows you to turn that on and hand this over to like my 4-year-old son, and it really limits the speed and allows them to feel more comfortable on the board, because even in speed mode 1, or let's call it the E mode, I think it's eco mode, it gets you a top speed of like 11 miles per hour. Sport mode gets you up to 22, and turbo mode, it gets you all the way up to 26. So I found that I was riding in between sport and turbo mode mostly. I did kick it over to the E for eco mode, and that just gave me a little bit more range. Again, it was comfortable cruising. I was right on the ocean here. I was picking up coffee, which I think is probably my favorite thing about this whole board, is that the lightness of it. It's only 17 pounds, again, whole thing, 17 pounds. I feel like my coffee was heavier when I was picking it up. So right now you can switch through different modes. So you can go sport, eco, or you flip the triangle right here, turbo mode, and then there is a forward and reverse manual option. It is USB-C, thank God. Everything should be USB-C. No, it's just quiet, listen to this thing. That is so quiet compared to a belt drive system where those motors do scream a little bit more of that sleek stealthness. And again, it just was it was a blast to ride. It just brought me back to my first board, and I truly reminisce with the hub drive system. So that's my opinion there. Typically, this is a $599 board. It is on sale right now for $399 US. That is for the Black Friday sale. Now, it does come with something else, a backpack. Whoa. Backpack's not horrible. Metal clasp, really nice. But the cool thing about this is that as this opens up, this whole thing comes undone, and you have this fanny pack style thing. So you got like something here for your drink. You got a little fanny pack zipper in here for your, maybe your cell phone or anything like that inside there. It's actually nice. It's a little felt line inside there too. And then it has these straps where you can actually mount the board on there as well. I mean, some people, like for me, I buy my backpacks, my aftermarket backpacks, to have this thrown in there. It's normally like 70, 80 bucks for something like this. To have that thrown in there on top of this discount sale, it's definitely a great deal. So if you are looking to get into this board, if you are looking to pick up a really cool board and you don't necessarily want to break the bank this season, this is a great step in the right direction. I mean, it'll get you in the sport, it'll give you what you wanted to do, and then you can look at other boards down the road. Now, there are other boards from Backfire, and you know, down the road, maybe we'll review those as well. I can say with certainty that this board is a fantastic beginner board, and if you are looking to jump in, I can recommend the Backfire Era 2. So final thoughts here, so the pros. There's a lot to love about this board. Again, the price, $399. It comes with a free backpack. It's got 9 to 12 miles of range inside of it, the hub drive system, the shock absorbing grip tape, the 3-hour charge time. There's a lot of things to love about this board. But if you are looking to jump into the sport and you're looking for a great deal, Backfire offers this right now, Black Friday sale, $399. And I can't recommend it enough that it's, if you're looking for your first board, this is definitely a viable option. Cons, my one con, and I don't know if it was like a design thing or something like that. So this one is called the Zen edition. There is a Nebula edition as well. Zen edition has this grip tape on side of here. Now, if you were looking at this board and you're like, hey, I'm gonna jump on this board, what direction am I gonna go in? I would think that this giant arrow would lend to being forward. No, that's backwards. That's forward. So if I had one gripe and one con about this thing, it's the grip tape. I jumped on this board and I was like, oh, that's forward. It's not. Nope, motors are there. It goes this way. You could put it in reverse and have a front wheel drive if you want, but that's a little weird. That's my one gripe. I would say that the grip tape, if they just could like reverse the grip tape, have this towards the front so that the arrow makes more sense going up that way, that's my one gripe. I mean, it's got this really cool like topography texture on the bottom there with the logo there. And it's just like, it's a fun board. If you're looking for a entry-level board that gives you incredible portability, comes with a free backpack, miles of range, tons of fun, bang for your buck, look at the Backfire Era 2. Guys, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for checking out the channel. And if you haven't, check out this video here or this video here. And like always, please subscribe to the channel, guys. We're growing and we have more reviews coming up, more giveaways coming up soon as well too. So subscribe, check out down low, hit the like, leave a comment, notification, all those YouTube things. Until next time, please wear a helmet. Peace.